Like this.
Appreciate it, right? So my brother was telling me the other day, probably about a year maybe now, and no, it wasn't even that. And we was talking about the company, and I did X amount of dollars, and I did this, and I'm trying to grow in this first or 2 years, and he was like, bro, you don't even see what you're doing, because while we're doing it, we're not looking at I'm looking at, man, I'm trying to get this bill paid, I'm trying to get this fixed, I'm trying to get this taken care of, I'm trying to get this.
Exactly.
The outside is looking at the growth, but in the
Absolutely.
inside, we know we got work to do. So it's
Indeed.
hard to us, it don't look like a milestone, it look like we got work to do.
Indeed.
Now at the end of the day, like you say, before you leave out, because every time I get out the truck, man, thank you Jesus, I needed that run. Oh
Yeah.
my, you know what I'm saying? And so you're going to give thanks and credit, because when you look at where you're at now, it's hard to go back to where you were.
For sure.
And when you look at how far you come, that's why I say, when you step back and give yourself your flowers, because at some point you got to step back and you know what? And perfect question. Oh, I'm going to answer the question the other day for you. When you get to these moments where it's the slowest, business don't seem like it's going the furthest, and you feel like, damn, I can lose everything if this don't happen this month, if what, because that shit happens. It happens.
Absolutely.
When those moments come and you stressed out and you about to pull out your hair and you damn near might give yourself a heart attack, and then it works out. And it works. It don't be extra, but it be enough to get through what you need.
For
and
sure.
you look back, or you look back and you say, damn, man, I remember when I was in that 2-bedroom apartment where the floor was leaking, but now I'm in a house. I remember when I had to get a ride to work, but now I drive this. I remember when I was going to work every day, working all these hours, and now I do this. And when you start looking at it, and that's what we're gonna call it, counting your blessings. That's when you start counting your blessings, like, yo, I really, all right, and that gives you motivation.
Indeed.
It gives you a gratefulness. It gives you
Absolutely.
appreciation. You know what I'm saying? It gives you confidence in yourself on top of that, because now I done been through hell.
Yeah.
And I'm right here now. You realize you're a lot further than you were.
Yeah.
And it's going to take too far to go back. See, people got to understand, it's going to be hard going to get what you want. It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard to get to that next level. It's going to be hard to get through these days. It's going to be hard. It's going to be very hard times going forward. But you got to remember, it's going to be even harder going back to where you just left, because you already went through all that crap. And now you got to go back through it again. So you just got to pick your hard. You're going to pick the hard way. It's going to give you, what you like to say, consistency, consistently progressing, or just being consistent and doing nothing, or staying stagnant. Do you want to go backwards, or do you want to go forward? Either way, either choice you choose is going to be hard. Pick your hard. Pick
Which
your
one you
hard.
want?
Which one you want? Because not every day is going to be good. Not every day is going to be bad. Some days it's going to be it wasn't good or bad. It was just But count your blessings and just know that I was back there. Look where you at now. Even if you was a crackhead and you don't smoke crack no more, you ain't got no house and no car, but you don't smoke crack no more. You
That's a
progress.
progression like a mug.
You winning.
You
You know what
winning.
I'm saying, man? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So look at it like, which hard you gonna take? It's all gonna be hard. You gonna go hard moving forward, or you gonna go hard moving backwards? You pick your hard, and that's how you get through a tough day. Pick your hard going forward.
Yeah. And that's what I mean by pushing in the sense of challenges. And the question of the day, just so we can phrase it so everybody knows what it is how do you handle tough days? That was the question of the day. How do you handle tough days? And we kind of just gave the answers to that. I know we took a while to get to it because we was talking about sports. But
Hey, sports is a good thing to talk about.
it's a great thing to talk about. And obviously, we can talk all day with our barbershop talk. Um, but that's why I say, for me, I believe the best practice is to identify the milestone immediately. Because if you're really a self-driven person and you have this ultimate goal, you're still going to keep pushing towards in pursuit of that ultimate goal. So you may not look back at the milestone all that time. Um, but if you recognize it immediately when you achieve the milestone and say, man, look what I just accomplished. That's one chip off the block. I'm gonna keep going and get motivated by that. It keeps you motivated and going. So that's what I mean. That's why I say they should be celebrated just as the ultimate goal, meaning immediately when you achieve it, you celebrate it by recognizing it. Like, I did that. That's an accomplishment. I'm happy. I'm gonna keep pushing, and then you keep on going. Um, I don't know how well it will work if you don't celebrate it immediately and then try to come back to it. So that's why I say the best practice for me is being motivated by those milestones and recognizing them immediately. And again, by celebrating, all I mean is recognize them immediately and be motivated by them.
I think I want to. I think I want to tell people to do something. I think every day. I think every day everybody should give themselves at least one compliment a day. I think everybody should give themselves look in the mirror and give themselves at least one compliment a day. Man, you look good today. Man, thank you, self. I do, don't
I was born conceited, so I don't have that problem.
I? I mean, you talking to a light skinned dude with green eyes, brother, because it's definitely like preaching the
What you say, Kay? What you say, Kay?
light skinned nigga with green eyes, but that's preaching the choir to me. But hey, but I think more people should adopt
Nah,
that.
for sure.
Give yourself compliments, man, because sometimes you might wake up in a bad day. Give yourself a compliment. Hey, man, you woke up this morning. Some people woke up dead.
We glazed over it. Some people woke up. They didn't wake up. We glazed over it, but I mentioned self-empowerment. And that right there, what you said, could be a self-empowerment practice, a self-empowerment tool that could work for some people, giving themselves a compliment every day. Uh, my question that I will pose for individuals in order to do that would be, how do you empower yourself? What do you
Mm.
do to empower yourself? How do you practice self-empowerment? What does that look like for you? I know exactly what self-empowerment looks like for me. I know what my best practices are for self-empowerment. And like I shared already, one of those main things is identifying and challenging bad habits and changing it for a good habit and pushing forward and making that habit a new lifestyle change. That's one of the ways I empower myself. So uh, find the ways that you empower yourself. It could be giving yourself a compliment every day or whatever that may be. But it's a good practice to ask yourself that question and then answer it. Um, to answer the question just real quick, my answer to how do you handle tough days, I think you pretty much covered it. But what I would say is just don't make bad habits a go-to for bad days or tough days. And what I mean by that is basically don't self-sabotage, right? People will say, oh, they had a long day, so they need to go
I'm
get
gonna
drunk.
smoke this blunt.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
they gotta go get inebriated in some kind of. They gotta go get drunk. They gotta go do this, or they gotta go overeat, emotional eating,
Mm-hmm.
or whatever. Don't. If you had a tough day, don't try to because it doesn't fix it anyway. But don't try to fix it with an emotional decision that is a bad habit. Don't compound a problem with a problem. Don't try to fix a bad day with a bad habit. A better habit, and what we're talking about is being in the practice of good habits. A better habit is if you've had a tough day, instead of trying to fix something with a bad habit, find a good habit that you can utilize to turn that day around, to put a conclusion on that day, or to keep you going in the way of your righteous goal that you're looking to achieve. I was on a radio show talking one time, and the host on the radio show said he didn't really know like he had a drinking problem. He never thought about it because growing up, when he was a kid, when people would come, come home from a long day, or when they were upset about something, they would have a drink. And that just was a normal thing to do. It was normalized having a drink. So then he realized, he had started gaining like a lot of weight, and he went to the doctor and had a real health scare. And he said he had to stop drinking, but he realized that he had normalized by associating drinking with um, a bad day or argument or whatever. So you go, oh, I got to have a drink. And so that became a normal way of handling a bad situation. And so he said he changed that. Instead of when he not that he didn't get upset by stuff, he just started checking himself and saying, when I get upset by something, I'm not going to have a drink. I'm going to go exercise. And that got him going down the world of actually exercising and now being in shape and fit. And that's what got him through the health scare that he had. But he changed his association with a bad day from utilizing a bad habit. And instead, he met the bad day with a good habit. And that is what making lifestyle changes is all about. Your lifestyle is going to always win. So if your lifestyle is filled with bad habits, but when you have a bad day, it's going to be met with bad habits, which can contribute to a bad day. Because at the end of the day, if someone does something emotional, they feel guilty about it anyway once logic sets in. And so it just compounds the problem because now they feel guilty about overeating. They feel guilty about being sloppy drunk. They feel guilty about those things. And not that we want to put guilt on people, but this is just how this is the cycle, unhealthy cycle that people go through. It's just what's real. People eat some stuff that they know they shouldn't have ate and say, oh man, I shouldn't have ate that. Now they feel guilty. But in the moment they did it because they were upset. So my thing I would just say, don't make bad habits a go-to for bad days. If you have a tough day, a long day, a tiring day, do something positive, a good habit to end that day or to overcome that long day. Don't go to a bad habit.